fine print when I joined. So yes, I wanted to be part of the solution to the education crisis. The bit about leadership development and growth, I didn't think applied to me, because I thought I'd been this manager and in senior roles in most corporates for a very long time, and I've been developed and grown, so I'm okay. I actually had quite a shock when I went into the school situation, and I had to see how limited resources Ridwan had to do so much. I mean, he's not just CFO of his school, he's the CEO, he's the COO, he needs to know HR and security, and I mean, the roles that the principals play is incredible, and the resources are so limited. Funding is like almost non-existent. It is so tough, and the problems that they have to deal with every day, you cannot imagine. I mean, Maitland High has eradicated gangsterism and stabbings and violence in the years that Ridwan was there, but it's a reality. I mean, deaths and unemployment and people not the parents not paying school fees, the kinds of problems that I was totally out of my depth. I had thought initially at the start of the program that I would be able to add value quite quickly, but I found that the skills that I'd learned in a corporate didn't serve me in the school context. I had to learn a whole new set of skills. So before I hand over to Ridwan, I want to just say that the biggest thing that I learned from working with him is patience. Like Karine, I really needed to calm down and be and work at a different pace. And I have never seen Ridwan flustered. He has to cope with craziness every day. His days are so unpredictable. You cannot really plan, but he copes and he's calm and gets the job done. So I want to thank Partners for Possibility, Old Mutual, really for giving me this incredible opportunity, and thank you to Ridwan for trusting me and allowing me to come into his space without any reservation.
First of all, when me and Charmaine started as a partnership and we started talking in terms of the background where we're coming from, we actually realized that there were similarities between the two of us. We both at university level were trained in the science field. Now, when you're trained in the science field, then you become imperative. You've got an issue, you look for the solution, you apply the solution, and the problem is solved. Then you look at the next issue and you apply the same thing. And for both of us, that was our fear. We're now entering a field where you need to sit down, you need to look at the issue, you need to look at the people in the issue. And then you need to start seeking solutions by bringing in the community, bringing in the teachers, bringing in the learners. And that was the biggest fear for the two of us. But later on we realized we are able to work together because we come from the same background and we can exchange our ideas. So what did we do in terms of our plan? First thing that she asked me, and that is because of her background in terms of IT, what are your major issues? I said, you know what? I'm a principal of a school. I've never been trained in finances, but I'm expected to make sure that the budget of the school is being spent, that everything runs accordingly, and I'm accountable to the governing body. But I have no tool to track where the money is going to and how much money we've got left. And thanks to Charmaine, she came in, she created with the finance person at the school for me a dashboard where I'm able to track to see where money is being spent, where there's money left, and where there's no money left. So I could then go, of course the totals that you see there are fictitious. Because I saw Ronel becoming very excited here.
I hope we shall cover that.
That is how Charmaine managed to cook the books. Then we said, look, we need to look at the school and where we're taking the school to. And Charmaine came up with this grid where we need to look at school and what do we want to avoid and eliminate from the school. She's mentioned some of the things that we eliminated. And but fortunately those things in terms of the partnership, we discussed it and we could identify the things that we've eliminated. Then we needed, that was in 2017, we had this particular workshop where Charmaine had a success Old Mutual, and how this intern developed himself in order to establish himself in Old Mutual, and then eventually was employed by Old Mutual. And she just felt that with our learners coming from a disadvantaged background, we could bring a success story to the learners. And this is really in terms of a workshop that we had with our matriculants last year, and it was very, very well received by our learners because they could identify with the struggles that the person went through himself. Then we said, you know what? The most important resource in any organization is the human resource. And then we decided that we need to develop somebody stands up in a staff meeting and gives an alternative view, and this was really one of the issues. Somebody mentioned here this evening that sometimes, Nikki mentioned, sometimes we are too democratic. I had this particular struggle where my staff in a staff meeting would sit and they would listen to the principal speaking. And that for me was not a good environment. And I needed to change that. And I said to Charmaine, perhaps we need to work on getting the staff members to raise their voices, not in terms of sound, but let their voices be heard. And then we decided that we are going each and everyone on the staff could understand that you are able to let your voice being heard, others will listen to you, and they need to understand where you are coming from. Charmaine, and thanks to Old Mutual, on a day when Old Mutual was very quiet on a Saturday, the staff went to Old Mutual, and this particular workshop was done there. And there were a number of staff members who were not present, and we just felt that, you know what, this is not going to work if everybody did not go through the same workshop so that they understand the language where we're coming from, and we're coming from the language where the principle is always red, others are always green, and others are blue. And we needed to get that middle ground, get everybody somewhere in between the red, the green, and the blue. So we followed that up with a workshop for learners or for teachers who could not attend the first workshop. And we made sure that we had everybody covered by the second workshop. And it worked tremendously well. And why did it work well, and why was it well attended? Because the teachers had attended the first workshop where all the catering took place, and they were told by the teachers were there what they missed out on, not in terms of the catering, but in terms of the content of the workshop. And thank you to Jill Baranetti. She did the workshop for us as well as the follow-up workshop. And that made the teachers make sure that they did not miss the second workshop. They say, I've got 1 minute left. Furthermore, a one-on-one sits in an office, you sit there alone. You need to make the plans there alone. People sometimes sit and they wait for the principal to give direction. And this is not really how an organization is being done. And therefore I actually said that, you know what, I think I need some guidance in terms of being coached, how to bring my staff, my SMT on board, so that I'm not the one every time that says, yes, 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 I'll do that, I'll do that, I'll do that. But we need to delegate. And one of my difficulties, challenges, it was difficult for me to delegate to people. So yes, I'm now receiving the one-on-one coaching whereby I'm being trained how to listen to people, look at the issue, and delegate the work. Start saying no, start asking questions, and get it over so that the work can get done. So thank you. That is the one-on-one coaching, but we're also going to take the staff through an effective communication workshop. And then early on I spoke about resilience and to building resilience. And really that is going to take our school forward, because we just felt that in terms of the human resources, and it's an investment into the school, because the staff is beginning to settle down. We don't have many movements on the staff. People, once they come into Maitland High, they tend that they don't want to leave. That also gives a particular message. Thank you very much. I hope that we've been within the time frames. I just want to say also thank you to Charmaine for being a great partner. In the meantime, by the way, people are speaking about retirement. She retired at the end of in 2017, December 2017, but she has undertaken that she will still continue to work with the school because she's got lots and lots of time on her hands. Thank you very much.